Good day, everyone. We live in a world full of distractions, constant noise, and external pressures that can make it feel like we're not in control of our own lives. We often feel like life is happening to us rather than us actively shaping it. But the truth is we have far more control than we give ourselves credit for. Today I'm going to share with you 5 ways to take back control of your life and create a future that you design intentionally and purposefully. 1. Define your purpose. The first step to controlling your life is defining your purpose. Why do you wake up every morning? What drives you? Without a clear sense of purpose, life becomes a series of random events and decisions with no direction. When you know your why, everything you do, every choice you make, every challenge you face becomes more meaningful. Purpose isn't just about achieving something external, it's about aligning your actions with something deeper, something that resonates with who you are and where you want to go. Purpose provides clarity, and clarity provides control. When you are clear on your purpose, you stop being swayed by every external influence and stay grounded in what truly matters to you. 2. To master your mindset next, controlling your life means mastering your mindset. Your mindset shapes your perception of the world and how you respond to life's challenges. If you adopt a growth-oriented mindset, you see setbacks as opportunities for growth, not as insurmountable barriers. When you approach life with the belief that challenges are temporary and that you have the ability to adapt and improve, you empower yourself to take control. Mindset isn't just about positive thinking, it's about fostering resilience, focusing on solutions, and continually learning. The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act ultimately shapes your life. So if you want to control your life, start by mastering the thoughts that guide you. 3. Take ownership of your actions. A big part of controlling your life is taking ownership of your actions. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or even bad luck for where we are in life. But the truth is, we are the architects of our own future. We shape our lives through the choices we make every single day. When you take ownership, you stop being a passive observer of your life. You become an active participant. Instead of waiting for things to change, you start making decisions that align with your goals, values, and purpose. Taking ownership is empowering. It's the recognition that no matter what happens, you have the power to choose how you respond and what you do next. 4. Prioritize. What matters most? If you want to control your life, you must learn to prioritize what matters most. In today's fast-pacing world, it's easy to get caught up in distractions, filling your day with tasks that don't move you forward. But time is your most precious resource. How you choose to spend it directly impacts the quality of your life. So ask yourself, what really matters? What aligns with your purpose and your goals? Focus your energy on those things and eliminate the noise. Prioritizing allows you to make decisions with intention and ensures that you're not spending time on things that drain you or take you off course. When you spend your time on the things that matter, you're taking control of your life and investing in your future. 5. Embrace discipline and consistency. Motivation is fleeting. It comes in bursts and fades when life gets difficult. But discipline is what keeps you going when motivation isn't there. It's the ability to show up every day even when you don't feel like it. It's the daily commitment to your goals, your growth, and your purpose. Discipline creates structure, and structure leads to progress. It's the consistency of small actions done over time that leads to great change. If you want to control your life, commit to the discipline of doing the right things every day, regardless of how you feel. This is how you create lasting control. 6. Cultivate resilience through adversity. Finally, life will inevitably throw challenges your way, but your ability to navigate those challenges with resilience will determine how much control you truly have. When things go wrong, don't give up. Instead, learn to embrace adversity as part of the process. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to see failures as learning opportunities, and to use adversity as fuel for growth. Each time you overcome a challenge, you gain more confidence and strength to face the next one. Resilience is what allows you to take control of your life, even in the face of hardship. Controlling your life is not about external circumstances, but about taking responsibility for how you think, act, and respond to the world around you. When you define your purpose, master your mindset, take ownership of your actions, prioritize what matters, embrace discipline, and cultivate resilience, you put yourself in the driver's seat. Life may not always be predictable, but you have the power to shape it. So take control, stay focused, and design the life you've always wanted. Thank you. To truly control your life, the first and most fundamental step is defining your purpose. Your purpose is the underlying reason for everything you do, and it is the compass that guides your decisions, actions, and priorities. When you know your purpose, life becomes a more intentional and meaningful experience. Without purpose, you're left adrift, reacting to whatever life throws at you, constantly searching for meaning in external achievements or fleeting moments. But when you have a clear sense of purpose, every action you take is aligned with something deeper, something that resonates with your core values and long-term vision. Your purpose is not just about the outcome you're working toward. It's about why that outcome matters to you. For example, if you're building a business, the goal might be financial success or recognition, but your deeper purpose could be creating something that has a positive impact on people's lives, or perhaps it's about providing for your family in a way that gives them security and freedom. The difference here is that your deeper why gives you a sense of fulfillment regardless of the obstacles you encounter along the way. It fuels your motivation in times of uncertainty or when progress feels slow. When you define your purpose, you make every action intentional. Your choices become clearer because you know what aligns with your purpose and what doesn't. For instance, you may have opportunities in front of you that seem exciting, but if they don't align with your core purpose, it becomes easier to say no and focus on what truly matters. Purpose allows you to avoid distractions and helps you prioritize your time, energy, and resources effectively. Additionally, having a clear purpose provides a sense of direction, particularly when faced with adversity. Life will inevitably throw challenges your way, but when you are connected to a strong purpose, these challenges don't feel like obstacles. They become part of your journey. Each difficulty or setback becomes an opportunity to grow and stay true to your purpose. Without purpose, it's easy to get discouraged and lose motivation when things go wrong, but with a solid foundation of why you're doing what you're doing, the setbacks don't feel as overwhelming. Instead, you find strength and resilience, knowing that you are working towards something that is worth the struggle. Moreover, defining your purpose makes it easier to navigate the complexity of life. We live in a world full of choices, temptations, and distraction. The pressure to conform or to chase after societal definitions of success can be overwhelming. But when you have a clear understanding of your purpose, you can filter out the noise and stay focused on what's truly important. Your purpose becomes your guiding star, helping you remain steadfast even when things get tough or when you're presented with opportunities that don't align with your long-term vision. Ultimately, defining your purpose is the key to gaining control over your life. It serves as the foundation upon which you can build your decisions, your goals, and your sense of fulfillment. Purpose is what transforms ordinary actions into meaningful experiences, and it's what gives you the motivation and resilience to continue moving forward no matter what challenges arise. Without purpose, motivation is fleeting and fragile, but with purpose, you find the strength to take control of your life and create a path that is uniquely your own. Mastering your mindset is one of the most powerful ways to take control of your life. The way you think shapes how you perceive the world, how you respond to challenges, and ultimately how you experience life itself. Your mindset is the lens through which you view every situation, every success, and every failure. When you learn to control and master your mindset, you empower yourself to respond to life in a way that aligns with your goals and values, rather than simply reacting to external circumstances. At the core of mastering your mindset is understanding that you have control over your thoughts. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that our thoughts are uncontrollable, that our emotions and reactions are dictated by what's happening around us. But the truth is, you have the ability to choose how you respond to any given situation. This is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is one where you believe your abilities, intelligence, and circumstances are predetermined and unchangeable. When you adopt a growth mindset, however, you embrace the belief that you can grow, adapt, and improve through effort, learning, and persistence. This mindset allows you to view challenges as opportunities rather than threats, and setbacks as lessons instead of failures. A growth mindset is critical because it enables you to see life as a series of opportunities to evolve. For example, when faced with a challenge, rather than seeing it as a roadblock, you learn to view it as a stepping stone toward greater wisdom or capability. With this mindset, every difficult situation is not something that breaks you, but rather something that helps build you. The ability to reframe challenges in this way not only enhances your motivation, but also strengthens your resilience as you understand that success is not about avoiding failure, but about persisting through it. Mastering your mindset also involves being intentional about your self-talk. The way you talk to yourself has a profound impact on how you feel and how you act. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough or that you'll never succeed, you reinforce a negative self-image that holds you back from taking the necessary steps to improve. On the other hand, if you encourage yourself with positive affirmations, challenge negative thoughts, and remind yourself of your capabilities, you begin to shift your internal dialogue in a way that supports your goals. This shift in mindset helps you face difficult situations with confidence and a sense of possibility rather than fear and doubt. Another critical element of mastering your mindset is emotional regulation. Life is full of emotional highs and lows, and how you handle those emotions can either propel you forward or keep you stuck. It's natural to feel fear, frustration, or doubt. But mastering your mindset means learning to navigate these emotions without allowing them to dictate your behavior. Instead of letting emotions cloud your judgment or cause you to make impulsive decisions, you learn to acknowledge them, process them, and then move forward with clarity and purpose. This emotional control gives you the ability to stay calm and focused, even in the face of uncertainty, and to make decisions that align with your values rather than being swayed by temporary feelings. Ultimately, mastering your mindset gives you the power to take control of your life, no matter what challenges you face. It allows you to shift from a passive reactive approach to a proactive one, where you're not simply letting life happen to you, but actively shaping your response to it. With a mindset that is positive, resilient, and focused on growth, you can navigate life with confidence and purpose, knowing that you are the architect of your own experience. Taking ownership of your actions is one of the most empowering ways to control your life. In life, it's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external factors for our circumstances, whether it's our upbringing, the people around us, or the events that seem out of our control. But the truth is that we have more control over our lives than we often realize. And that control begins with taking full responsibility for our action. When you take ownership, you stop being a passive participant and become the active creator of your life story. Taking ownership means acknowledging that you are the one who shapes your future, and that every decision you make plays a part in the direction your life takes. You have the power to choose how you respond to challenges, how you use your time, and how you pursue your goals. It's about accepting that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you respond. This mindset shift is essential for reclaiming control over your life. Instead of feeling like a victim of your circumstances, you begin to see yourself as the author of your own narrative. When you take ownership, you stop making excuses. It's easy to say that you didn't succeed because of factors beyond your control, but the reality is that success and failure are often determined by the actions you take or fail to take. Whether it's a missed deadline, a failed project, or an unmet goal, taking ownership means acknowledging that you had a role in the outcome, whether it was through your choices, your actions, or your lack of them. By recognizing your responsibility, you open the door to growth and improvement. You stop blaming others or external factors, and instead you focus on what you can do differently next time. Moreover, taking ownership empowers you to learn from your mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but when you take ownership of them, you see them not as failures, but as opportunities for learning and improvement. When you take responsibility, you don't just accept the consequences of your actions, you actively reflect on them. What went wrong? What could you have done differently? How can you adjust your approach moving forward? These questions are the key to growth. By taking ownership of your actions, you turn every setback into a valuable lesson that can help you make better decisions in the future. Taking ownership also means being accountable to yourself and others. Accountability is a powerful motivator because it keeps you honest and focused on your goals. When you hold yourself accountable for your actions, you are more likely to stay committed to your personal development and long-term objectives. You stop making excuses and start taking consistent, intentional steps toward achieving what you want. Additionally, being accountable to others, whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a colleague, helps keep you on track and reinforces your commitment to your goals. Finally, taking ownership of your actions means embracing your power. It's the recognition that you have the ability to change the course of your life, no matter where you start. By taking full responsibility for your actions, you step into your power and begin to make choices that align with your values, goals, and purpose. You no longer wait for external circumstances to dictate your life. Instead, you take charge, make deliberate choices, and create the future you desire. In summary, taking ownership of your actions is essential to controlling your life. It gives you the power to shape your destiny through the choices you make every day. By accepting responsibility, you free yourself from the limitations of blaming others and external factors, and instead you step into a position of strength and agency. This ownership leads to greater self-awareness, personal growth, and a deeper sense of control over your life. It empowers you to learn from mistakes, stay accountable, and make decisions that align with your true potential. Prioritizing what matters most is one of the most effective ways to control your life. In a world full of distractions, endless obligations, and numerous opportunities, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Time is a finite resource, and how you choose to spend it directly impacts the quality of your life. Every day you are presented with countless choices about where to direct your energy, and without prioritization, it's all too easy to get caught up in activities that don't contribute to your long-term goals or personal fulfillment. When you learn to prioritize, you take control of your time and your future. Prioritization begins with understanding your values, goals, and what gives you a sense of purpose. When you know what truly matters to you, it becomes much easier to say no to distractions and focus on what is essential. For example, if your family and your health are your top priorities, you're more likely to make decisions that support those priorities, such as making time for family activities and committing to a regular exercise routine. On the other hand, if you haven't clearly defined what matters most, you might find yourself saying yes to every request, every invitation, and every opportunity, leaving little time for what aligns with your true goals. The key to prioritization is learning to distinguish between urgent tasks and important ones. Urgent tasks often demand immediate attention, but they are not always aligned with your long-term goals. You may spend your time responding to emails, attending meetings, or putting out fires in your daily life. But if these tasks don't contribute to your bigger vision, they may end up taking up time that could be better spent on more meaningful pursuits. On the other hand, important tasks are those that may not always seem urgent, but they are crucial for your long-term success and fulfillment. These tasks require intentional focus and planning. Prioritizing important tasks ensures that you are moving forward, even when it feels like the demands of daily life are overwhelming. Another aspect of prioritization is the ability to set boundaries. When you learn to say no to things that don't serve your purpose or contribute to your well-being, you create space for the things that matter. It's easy to become overextended when you're constantly trying to please others or meet expectations that don't align with your values. But by setting clear boundaries and learning to say no, you protect your time and energy. Boundaries allow you to focus on what you deem important, rather than being pulled in multiple directions by the demands of others. Prioritizing also means making conscious choices about how you spend your time and energy. It's about being intentional in every aspect of your life, whether it's your work, relationships, or personal growth. When you prioritize what matters, you stop reacting to life's distractions and start proactively shaping your experiences. This approach leads to greater fulfillment because you're spending your time on activities that align with your goals and values, rather than getting lost in busy work or obligations that don't move you forward. Moreover, prioritization fosters a sense of balance. When you focus on what matters most, you are more likely to create space for all areas of your life that need attention, whether that's your career, health, relationships, or personal development. Balancing these priorities ensures that no aspect of your life is neglected. It helps you avoid burnout and stress, as you're able to focus on what's truly important without feeling overwhelmed by the constant demands of life. In conclusion, controlling your life is not about waiting for the perfect moment or relying solely on external factors to shape your future. It's about taking responsibility for the decisions you make, the actions you take, and the mindset you cultivate. By defining your purpose, mastering your mindset, taking ownership of your actions, prioritizing what matters most, and embracing discipline and consistency, you gain the power to navigate life with intention and purpose. Life will always have its challenges, but when you control your actions and decisions, you are empowered to face them with resilience and clarity. Remember, the path to control is not about eliminating obstacles, but about mastering how you respond to them. When you take charge of your mindset, your time, and your decisions, you stop being a passive observer and become an active creator of the life you want to lead. Ultimately, control is about creating an environment where you can grow, achieve your goals, and live a life that is aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. Keep moving forward with purpose, focus, and determination, knowing that the power to control your life has always been within you.